What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down some good and bad examples of route running. So we're going to be showing some routes. We're going to show an incorrect example first, and then we're going to show a correct example of a receiver running that exact same route versus that exact same coverage. But also, fellas, if you're a wide receiver and you guys would like a daily workout schedule to follow, check out that very first link in the description below for our 8-week wide receiver on-field workout plan. What you'll get access to is 200+ wide receiver route running drills, press release drills, catching drills, all mapped out with the exact sets and reps to do, and we put it into a schedule like Monday you're doing this, Tuesday you're doing that, so it's easy for you guys to follow and easy to do. We also include a video example of each drill as well, so check out that very first link in the description below if you're interested. Let's get started with this video. So first example here, we're going to look at a clip from Travis Hunter playing defense on a dig route versus inside shade press, and then we're going to show an example of Travis Hunter running this exact route the right way when he is on offense. So first example, it's a dig route versus inside shade press. So when it comes down to running routes, when it comes down to having a plan for your routes, you need to understand two things about a DB. You got to understand his leverage and the distance he has between you off the line. So by leverage, I mean where this DB is shaded. So this case, he is shaded to the inside of the wide receiver, right? Some cases, he'll be shaded to the outside. In some cases, he won't show it and he'll be head up. We need to have a plan of action for each one of these specific looks. And the reason why we want to look at that and how we can use that to structure my plan, quote unquote, plan off the line, is to understand what his responsibilities are with this look. So if I have to run an inside breaking route like a dig and I have inside shade press, we know that this DB probably not going to give up the inside release because his sole responsibility being inside leverage, why he's lined up there in the first place, is to take away the inside route. Force everything to your help. And when he's inside shade, he doesn't have safety help, linebacker help. He has sideline help. You run out of bounds, you're not doing anybody any good. And the DB won the rep. He also wants us to force the release so he could get hands and disrupt the timing of the quarterback. And that's exactly what this receiver does. So he forces the release. What does Travis Hunter do immediately? Get hands, right? Reroutes him. He started this route way past, like almost on the red line. And look where this ball was almost thrown to him. On the hash mark. Guys, that is very, very bad spacing on a route, if I'm being honest, right? Like, think about the play concept here. Like, let's say, for example, this receiver was running a 10-yard in, and let's say the slot receiver was running like, like a whip route. If you get rerouted all the way to the inside, you're going to run into the whip route, and then you could have one defender guard two routes. That is not good spacing on the play. So what he should have done, and that's what we're going to show in this next example here from Hunter running the route, is take what the DB gives us. If he's inside shade, maybe off the ball, I make him think like I'm running an inside route. The best way to get a DB to move off of his platform and press, make him think you're going where he is taught not to let you go. So he's inside shade, he's taught not to let you go inside. So maybe I give him a quick move inside, I give him a crossover move inside, something to hold him, and let's take the outside release. Your separation is won and lost at the top of the route. Off the line, it's just about timing and spacing, fellas. You got to take what the DB gives us. And that's what we're going to show in this next example. So I'll play it full speed one more time. Again, this is the incorrect way to run a dig versus inside shade press. So now you got Travis Hunter here, inside shade press, maybe about a yard or two away of space. So we know that off the ball, we can't just take off and run or give him a quick jab. We have to close the space with him, right? And still at the same time attack his leverage and take the outside release with what he gives us, right? So let's play this full speed. This is textbook. He attacks him, outside release, he's able to stack, and then he's able to win. And again, he caught the ball over by the hash, but that was honestly, I think, just a later throw. I think if he wanted to throw this ball like right on time off the break, could have hit him right here, which is very, very similar to the last example. So now let's talk about this. Let's talk about why he does this. So remember, it's about spacing and timing. If you get to the top of the break, like we attack him inside, we take this outside release, your goal should always be to stack the DB. Stacking the DB is when he is trailing behind us. Now, a lot of people are hesitant with the outside release versus inside shade press when they have an inside route like a post, like a dig, like a curl, because they're worried, well, coach, what if I'm not able to stack him? What if he's faster than me? What am I going to do? Well, at the break point, guys, if he's quicker than us, like, and you're running a dig, Like a quarterback would rather have room to throw you open and maybe a slight slower of a break than you guys forcing an inside release and being crazy fast at the break, but you're on the opposite dang side of the field. So at this break point, if this DB is over the top of you, guess what you could do? You could take your inside hand, put it on the back of his shoulder, back of his hip, break down and slip under him and throw him by. They call that a throw-by move. And that throw-by move will get you separation, but also give you space to accelerate out of the break. 3 phases to every route. You got the stem, you got the break point, and the acceleration. Key is we have to give ourselves room to do the acceleration point. So again, when you come off of this release, fellas, you take an outside release versus inside shade press. When you attack him and we go, let's try to run as tight as we can to him, because either we are going to be able to stack or he's going to be right on my hip, and that throw-by move will be easier to hit. So this textbook here from Hunter. Great job taking the outside release, getting over the top, and giving the quarterback plenty of room. Okay, so now this is another example here from Travis Hunter, and he's going to be running a fade route versus inside shade off man coverage. So this ultimately is a bad example of how you would run a fade route versus inside shade press. Now, I think everybody, or at least most of you should know this, but if he's inside shade, regardless if it's press man or if it is off man, we know that he is trying to prevent the inside route. So if I have to run an outside route like a 10-yard out, a corner, or a fade route, what do you want to do with your stem? A stem is essentially like the point of the route before you make the break, if you will. On a fade route, I guess you could say the whole thing is the stem, right? But what would you want to do? You'd want to attack him inside. You'd want to stem him to the inside. That means angling your stem towards this DB. Because again, what is he trying to protect? Inside route. So if you stem to the inside, it's the best way to get him to move. He's going to move to the inside. We give him a move and then we go. But when we do stem to the inside, we have to step on this guy's toes, quote unquote. We got to close the space. So when I work back to the outside, I could get him by a step. If you guys just work to the inside and give a move and there's like some space, yeah, he might jump, but then you still got to get back outside and he could cut off the angle, which is ultimately what happens here. So he attacks inside. DB kind of does a great job staying patient. He doesn't close space enough, and that DB's all over this route. And again, Travis Hunter's such a freak athlete. He still had a plan for this. He still had a chance to make this play. But if you're not that type of athlete, you are getting rerouted all the way to the sideline. This is not a good position to be at right here. Not at all, because we were way too close. Quarterback does not have any room to fade us. So again, reason why this happened is when he starts attacking to the inside, this DB stays patient and keeps that space between us. We still have to continue to close the space when he does this. We got to turn on into a different gear if he starts to inch back like this and he stays patient. We can't maybe keep the same speed off the ball. We got to get into his toes. We got to get into his cushion just so I could get him by a step when I work to the outside. But what I can't do is just run away when he has space, because that's exactly what he's going to do in this example. Cut us off, get hands, disrupt timing, and disrupt space on the play. So we have to make sure, fellas, we are trying to step on this guy's toes. And also, you could give a hard fake to the inside. Hunter just kind of ran. You could give a fake. You could close the distance. You could give a hard step to the inside before we work back out. And that's what they do in this next example. So again, same look, same type of route. We got inside shade. This receiver's running a fade. I want you to pay attention to his stem. Stems to the inside, hard fake inside. Gets that DB to crash, and again, we got plenty of space to be able to be faded outside. So I honestly think when this wide receiver does this and he does this move, I think there's too much space. I think there's 5 yards of space right here, and I think that's too much space. I would like to see him do this move a little bit closer to the DB, just so it's easier to stack around him. But luckily, it was a good enough move. But if this DB played it well and he didn't stumble, he could easily cut off this angle. So we have to make sure, fellas, when we do this, we are closing the distance, stepping on his toes, and then giving a hard fake to attack his leverage so we set ourselves up for more space to the outside. That's textbook fade route. Fellas, remember, it's about having a plan, understanding a DB's leverage, understanding the distance he has between us so we could execute that plan and do it quickly. All right, fellas, really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. Always appreciate the feedback. It's always great to hear from you guys. And again, fellas, we are coming, again, 8-week wide receiver on-field workout schedule, 200-plus wide receiver drills, 200-plus sets and reps, everything that you guys need to know what to do as a receiver on a weekly basis. So check out that very first link in the description below. We'd love to get you on that. I'll see you guys next time.